Hey there, everybody. Will back again today for another chapter of Daniel. I hope you're all doing well today. Just want to remind you, please be reaching out to people, be contacting people, check in with them, see how they're doing. The fun thing about that is actually a two-way streak. Not only are you getting to support them, but in a way they're getting to support you as well. So please be reaching out to people and let them know that you're thinking about them and praying for them. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and dive into another chapter of Daniel today. This is chapter 2. One night during the second year of his reign, Nebuchadnezzar had a dream that disturbed him so much that he couldn't sleep. He called his magicians, enchanters, sorcerers, and astrologers and demanded that they tell him what he had dreamed. As they stood before the king, he said to them, "I have had a dream that troubles me. Tell me what I dreamed. I must know what it means." Then the astrologers answered to the king, "Long live the king. Tell us your dream, and we will tell you what it means." But the king said to the astrologers, "I am serious about this. If you do not tell me what I have dreamed and what it means, you will be torn limb from limb, and your houses will be demolished into heaps of rubble. But if you tell me what I have dreamed and what the dream means, I will give you many wonderful gifts and honors. Just tell me about the dream and what it means." They said again, "Please, your majesty, tell us what you have dreamed, and we will tell you the meaning." The king replied, "I can see through your trick. You are trying to stall for time because you know how serious I am about what I have said. If you do not tell me the dream, you will be condemned. You've conspired to tell me lies in hopes that something will change. But tell me what the dream is, and then I will know that you can tell me what it means." The astrologers replied to the king, "There isn't a man alive who can tell your majesty his dream. No king, however great or powerful, has ever asked such things of any magician, enchanter, or astrologer. It is an impossible thing the king requests. No one except the gods can tell you your dream, and they do not live among the people." The king was furious when he heard this, and he sent an order to execute all the wise men of Babylon. And because of the king's decree, men were sent to find and kill Daniel and his friends. Then Arach, commander of the king's guard, came to kill them. Daniel handled the situation with wisdom and discernment. He asked Arach, "Why has the king issued such a harsh decree?" So Arach told him what had happened. Daniel went at once to see the king and requested more time so he could tell the king what his dream meant. Then Daniel went home and told his friends, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, what had happened. He urged them to ask God in heaven to show him mercy and tell them the secret, so they would not be executed among the other wise men of Babylon. That night, the secret was revealed to Daniel in a vision. Then Daniel praised the God of heaven, saying, Praise the name of God forever and ever. For he alone has all the wisdom and power. He determines the course of world events. He removes kings and sets others on their throne. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to the scholar. He reveals deep and mysterious things and knows what lies are hidden in darkness, though he himself is surrounded by light. I thank and praise you, God of my ancestors, for you have given me wisdom and strength. You have told me what I have asked and revealed the king's demand. Then Daniel went to Arach, who had been ordered to execute the wise men of Babylon. Daniel said to him, "Do not kill the wise men. Take me to the king, and I will tell him the meaning of his dream." Then Arach quickly took Daniel to the king and said, "I have found one of the captives of Judah, who will tell your majesty the meaning of his dream." The king said to Daniel, also known as Belshazzar, "Is this true? Can you tell me about my dream and what it means?" Daniel replied, "There are no wise men, enchanters, magicians, or fortune-tellers who can tell the king such a thing. But there is a God in heaven who reveals secrets, and he has shown King Nebuchadnezzar what will happen in the future. Now I will tell you about the dream and the visions you saw when you lay in your bed. While your majesty was sleeping, you dreamed of the coming events. The revealer of mysteries has shown you what is going to happen. And it is not because I am wiser than any living person that I know the secrets that you have dreamed. It is because God wanted you to understand. what you were thinking about. Your Majesty, in your vision, you saw in front of you a huge and powerful statue of a man, shining brilliantly, frightening and awesome. The head of the structure was of fine gold. Its chest and arms were made of silver. Its belly and thighs were bronze. Its legs were iron, and its feet were a combination of iron and clay. But as you watched, a rock was cut from the mountain by supernatural means, and it struck the feet of iron and clay, smashing them to bits. The whole statue collapsed into a heap of iron, clay, bronze, silver, and gold. The pieces were crushed as small chaffs on the threshing floor, crushed so small that the wind blew them away without a trace. But the rock that knocked down the statue became a great mountain that covered the whole earth. That was the dream. Now I will tell your Majesty what it means. Your Majesty, you are king over many kings. The God in heaven has given you sovereignty, power, and strength and honor. He has made you ruler over all who inhabit the world, and has even put the animals and birds under your control. You are the head of gold. But after your kingdom comes to an end, there will be another great kingdom, inferior to yours, and it will rise up and take your place. After that kingdom has fallen, a third great kingdom, represented by bronze, and the belly and the ankles will rise up and rule the world. Following that kingdom, there will be a fourth great kingdom, as strong as iron. That kingdom will smash and crush all previous empires, just as iron smashes and crushes everything it strikes. The feet and toes you saw were a combination of iron and clay. They show that the kingdom will be divided. Some parts of it will be as strong as iron, while others will be as weak as clay. The mixture of iron and clay also shows that these kingdoms will try to strengthen themselves by forming alliances with each other through intermarriage. But they will not succeed, just as iron and clay do not mix. During the reign of those kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed. No one will ever conquer it. It will shatter all of those kingdoms into nothingness, but it will stand forever. That is the meaning of the rock that was cut from the mountain by supernatural means, and crushed the statue of iron, clay, bronze, silver, and gold. The great God has shown your Majesty what will happen in the future. Your dream is true, and the meaning is certain. Then Nebuchadnezzar bowed to the ground before Daniel and worshipped him. And he commanded his people to offer sacrifices and burn sweet incense before him. The king said to Daniel, "Truly, your God is the God of gods, the Lord over kings, the revealer of mysteries, and you have been able to reveal his secret." Then the king appointed Daniel to a high position and gave him many valuable gifts. He made Daniel ruler over the entire province of Babylon, as well as the chief over all the wise men. At Daniel's request, the king appointed Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to be in charge of all of the affairs of the province of Babylon, while Daniel remained in the king's court. So from that reading today, I've got a couple of questions for you. A couple things stood out to me. The first of which is this. I love how you see, in the beginning of this, you see the magicians and the sorcerers and the enchanters and the astrologers trying to buy their time with Nebuchadnezzar, trying to get him to say something that will give them a little bit of an a little bit of insight into what the dream actually was. But it also brings up a good point that I think some of us encounter people in our lives that are kind of like those enchanters or those magicians, people that are trying to, in a way, manipulate us. And my question is how do we protect ourselves from people that mean to harm us or people that don't want our best interests at heart? We see Nebuchadnezzar basically saying, "No, I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm not going to tell you anything," to the point where all of the wise men in Babylon are put in danger. But yeah, how are we protecting ourselves from people that don't care about our best interests? And the second is this. I love how we see Daniel operate in this. Before he even goes to the king and explains this entire meaning of the dream, he asks Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, or Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael, whichever names you prefer, to be praying that God reveals to him the information that he needs. And God does this. He shows up in Daniel's dreams and gives him the meaning and the inspiration for all of this. What does Daniel do immediately after that? He praises God. He thanks God, who is sovereign, who gives knowledge and wisdom and power. And my question is this: are we taking the time in our lives to thank God for the good that he is doing in our lives? I feel like it can be so easy for us to simply exist and only go to God when we need things. But the truth is, whether we realize it or not, God is already doing so many amazing things in our lives. Are we taking the proper time to thank him? And maybe for some of us, that's an impromptu homework, is you just feel like you need to thank God for what he's done in your lives or the people he's put in your lives. So yeah, those are my questions from Daniel chapter 2 today. I hope you enjoyed this study. We're going to be back with Daniel chapter 3 tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and pray us out, and then I'm going to let you get back to your day. Father God, we thank you that you continue to show up in our lives, that you reveal yourself to us in so many ways, either directly or indirectly through the people that you have put into our lives. God, we thank you. Be with us today as we go and try to spread your name and your will in this world that may seem so strange to us. But God, we're reminded that you are sovereign over all, and you're with us every step of the way. In your Son's name, amen. That's all I've got for today, folks. I will see you all tomorrow. Take care.